give a lot to the Birla Group. A group like ours, only where ABG really believes in investing in their people. I am creator by design. You can't leave me and tell me to work in a box. I will not work.
Consumer landscape has changed a lot.
I used to say that who's going to buy vegetables, because India is such a touch and feel vegetable market. Who's going to go online and click and buy? But look at that, I was so wrong. You have to be ready to constantly unlearn and relearn.
Financial services and 10 minutes delivery. Do you see an overlap that's going to happen in the future?
Say, but 2 minute Maggie शायद नहीं बनेगी, loan तो मिल जाएगा.
Oh my God! You are a full-time corporate leader. You are a full-time mom. My question is simple: can women have it all?
Women can have it all. They have to learn to demand, and they also have to learn to use the ecosystem. We don't have to be shy.
Darshana, if you have to give me one mantra, the women working in corporate world, be it working as a teacher, working as a secretary, government service.
My one clear advice is you dream and dream big and make it happen for yourself, but don't kill your dreams.
Welcome to Turn the Page. Today, we are in conversation with Ms. Darshana Shah, the CMO of Aditya Birla Capital. If you are a woman who is working in the corporate world, this episode is just for you. She is a woman of grit, a woman of determination, and a woman who never gives up. Her mantra, play to win. This is going to be a life-changing episode because she has seen it all and she is here to share her career journey with you. So watch along and turn the page. You know, I have been personally really inspired by your journey and I have seen it over the years. And you have shifted roles, you have shifted domains, you know, from IT to retail to hardcore financial services. I want to know that, you know, what led to you really, you know, changing streams and doing what you are doing today?
Interesting, right? So I don't think if I look back and, you know, when I think, it's not that I had planned my journey like this. So when I started out, and I come from a family where you're not really allowed to work. I come from a Gujarati business family. We are 3 sisters. I'm the eldest. So my cousin took she took the sort of a panga in the house and she got into advertising, and because of her, I also was allowed to step out. And when I ventured out, see, at that time, I didn't have any career or anything in mind, and whatever I got, I didn't like advertising. I also followed her. I lasted 2 days and I said, this is not working for me. And I got into IT because there was one ad and I went. It was a IT education for children. It was called Boston Cyber Kids, and then they had a large outfit called Boston Computing Institute. Now, I just happened to be there. I started, grew, became the center manager, got into NIIT. I always wanted to somewhere start my own. So I do come from a business family, and that bug was there in me. And at that time also, so I said, no, I want to start my own play school. So I took a break when I got married and I did my early childcare course. I thought I'll start my own play school. That's the time, it was 2000, and that's the time the whole, internet, the whole first downfall happened.
Okay.
And that's when the big bubble burst happened. So I wanted to come back because the play school thing was not working out. My sister went to Australia. So I said, okay, now what next? And is when retail happened to me. So again, not planned. When I got into retail, I initially was in operations. So I was 2 years with Shoppers Stop on the floor, a team manager, running the floor, sales, all of that. But interest, which was that really gave me grounding, and Shoppers was a good, playground to learn retail, like very, very good. So that's where it really gave you the depth of retail. And of course, I wanted to go back to marketing, and I got into Future Group. So did many stints in various large retail formats. What didn't happen was FDI, and when that didn't happen in India, when it didn't open up, and that one thing I have innate in me, that I'm looking for a new challenge. I get bored with routine, mundane, regularly doing the same for years. Yeah. So I wanted the next big challenge, and that's when I met Ajay over here, and they were looking for people who come from consumer thinking, and retail is all about that because you're eating, breathing, consumers, and they wanted to make BFSI more consumer conversation, customer language, and all the category and the the actuarial or the legal, because it's highly regulated. So now the
Yes.
regulated language, demystifying this whole category of finance. And that time they had the vision of making this one brand called Aditya Birla Capital. I found the wellness side, and health insurance was just going to get launched yet to start, and they had this whole wellness proposition which really excited me. So I also had questioned, listen, I don't know anything about finance. You want to take a punt on somebody, because and I never thought so. I'm also a never say never. I was very clear, I will not join finance, it is too boring, it's very suit boot. I come from retail, fashion, color. So, but this proposition really excited me. There was a business which is going to get launched with a very strong purpose. And I said, why not? If they are ready to bet on me, why not? And honestly, I was at helm of retail to make this bold move and
Yeah.
really change my, industry. I was scared. I don't think it's easy. Many people called me and said, you're really bold to make this. But it's good because if you've done it, continue, because it's a big industry. BFSI is very big. I didn't really think. I thought, कि ठीक है, try करती हूँ, not, then I'll go back.
Yeah.
In my head, I was very, if okay, I'm trying it out. Works
Yeah.
great. Otherwise, I can always go back. Was my where my head was. I did find it difficult in the initial months. It was very, I'm in health insurance, and it was very morbid, and it was not colorful. But the team over here gave me a lot more confidence, and yeah, 9 years, and I'm
Wow.
here. So I think that whole requirement, to constantly challenge my status quo, want to do something different. So I am creator by design. You can't leave me and tell me to work in a box. I will
Yeah.
not work. I will actually go out of the box and keep bringing things in. And I think that's the reason, I happen to, and well, there is somebody up there taking care, because I'm also fortunate and lucky.
Yeah, you brought in a very interesting point that yes, you were scared. Yes, you knew nahi hoga, so I will go back. But you stayed. You stayed. You learned. You acknowledged. The team kind of really helped. But I genuinely think there are certain superpowers which are inside you and which stay with whichever role you do. What is your superpower, Darshana?
I don't give up. So I am a very never say die. If I also I am very stubborn about some things within me, that I have this whole idea where I play to win. So if I've taken up something, then I do want to see that I make it happen. Even if I'm going to eventually say fine, that maybe I tried, maybe it's not my domain, but I will not leave it till I've given everything.
Yeah.
I don't like, I'm not saying that are there days where you feel like quitting, and you feel that okay, this is not your space, or maybe you should do something differently or not do it or whatever. Yeah, that happens. That happens more often. That happens and like any human, like
Yeah.
anybody. But then I have this problem of not giving up.
Yeah.
So
Super.
sometimes it works, sometimes it's too much. Yeah, but that's me.
Another commonality which I see is that, while they are very different worlds, retail and fashion retail and financial services, one thing is common, which is the consumer.
Yes.
And consumer landscape has changed a lot, and you would have seen it from not just from retail but also in the financial services, especially post COVID. How did you pick that up, and how has it been your experience to see the changing consumer landscape?
Oh, I mean, lots have changed, right? I mean, look at our times. If I were to just continue with retail as an example, where we were looking, I mean, Shoppers Stop was the first large format or modern retail stores. Before that, we had all these, mom and pop and those kind of retail happening, and that's where you have these large format, touch and feel, color, fashion, visual merchandising, a lot happening out there. Then came the Big Bazaar, which also taught you a lot of, the hypermarket retail and all of that. So India has, and I've seen those days where we used to have queues outside, and people would wait for the sales
Yeah.
to everything to the sale happening, and so that was different touch and feel, and people wanted to go out and being in a mall in an air conditioning environment,
Yeah.
a very different era then, and all physical retail. I still remember when I was with Hypercity and the Big Basket now, and these some of the guys at that time who were learning, and they had this whole idea. And I used to say that who is going to buy vegetables, because India is such a touch and feel vegetable market. People want to touch,
Yeah.
feel, do all of that. Who's going to go online and click and buy? But look at that, I was so wrong. Right? So consumer today, with given the infrastructure and traffic and all of that, convenience has suddenly overtaken, and that behavior change which came into grocery and your fresh items and all of that, which are more your day to day, was really surprising. And today, from there, you have seen consumers wanting everything in 10 minutes. I mean, look at the whole
Yeah.
q-commerce and the quick commerce that is. So yes, I think it's been disrupted. It's been disrupted again and again and again, and I only don't know what Gen AI is going to do next. And it's exciting but scary. So what it has done is it has completely removed loyalty from consumers. Today consumers are more click and try. There's more trials that has increased, less loyalty. The cost of switching is, I mean, very low, because consumers just switch.
Yeah.
A lot of things have gone online, and everybody wants to try. If it doesn't work, you can give it back. I mean, whoever thought, right?
Yeah,
So today,
absolutely.
so I think that has really gotten a lot more instant gratification, convenience, speed, here and now, trial and error.
Yeah.
So the entire consumer behavior has changed, and that's the consumer we are dealing with. And similarly, what happens is what they're doing in a industry, they want in your industry. So coming back to financial services is exactly what they're expecting. So I remember when we are doing our omni channel servicing has started, people want to go. The service has to be where you are, and no more consumers coming to where your shops are, or where your
Yes.
stores are, or where branches are.
Yeah.
You have to be where they are. So the entire omni-channel world has completely changed. And so I remember when we were doing in our health insurance, when we were doing our claims, self-servicing journeys, the expectation from our customer was same like what you do in Swiggy and Zomato. I want to see, that it's picked up from the restaurant, it's on the way. They're saying that I want to see the same thing on your claims.
Right.
That where is it, and by when I will get, and how. I mean, they
Yes.
want that transparency. Now it's very difficult because you're not wired and your processes are not like that. So,
Yeah.
but COVID brought that in. COVID really
Absolutely.
pushed everything to get digitized faster for all categories, for all industries. But that's the time when I was in health insurance, and that was really from a push category, it became pull. We used to always laugh and say, who will wake up and say that, आज health insurance खरीदने जाते हैं. But literally, that's
Yeah.
what changed in COVID. People
Absolutely.
were waking up, and I know when, Tapan was working, and this was the excitement that whilst it was wrong timings, but we were in the place, right place at the right time, so
Yeah.
to say. And that's where the excitement of building the category, really seeing the category becoming a pull category and digitizing.
Yes.
I think that was fun, so I've seen that change to today, the fintechs, everything on the fingertips, right? So
Yes.
today, whether our entire, we have launched our entire D2C platform, ABCD, where people are doing all financing on the fingertip, our UPI, look at the habit.
Yes.
So I was just talking the other day in one of the forums that today, the Gen Alpha and the Gen Beta, which is really in the diapers this year, I mean, imagine what
Yes.
they are going to be asking from us. So it is disrupted, it is constantly getting, the disruption is on, and you don't know what next, so you have to be ready.
Yeah.
So what it does to you, you have to be agile, you have to be ready to constantly unlearn and relearn.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's fun, it's scary, but it's a lot more demanding.
Yeah.
It is not linear as it used to be in my earlier days. The consumer is a lot more demanding. The consumer is not showing loyalty, and you really have to walk the talk. You
Yeah.
have to be authentic.
Authentic. Absolutely.
So I think that's the world where there's too much of influences and all is not working. People are looking for authentic
Yeah.
brands, authentic businesses.
Yeah. And no wonder EGC, employee generated content, is on the rise, because fundamentally you're convinced that your brand stands for something, and if it is authentically coming from your employees who live, breathe day in day out the brand,
Yes.
it's it does great. And one very interesting thing which you said was the consumer today is trying, and okay, I don't like it, let's move to the next. And the loyalty is really is a word which is very, very difficult to earn today.
It's a diminishing currency. It's
Yeah.
not anymore the power.
Yeah. Quick commerce world, Darshana, I am just intrigued to know that financial services and 10 minutes delivery. Do you see an overlap that's going to happen in the future?
I already see it happen. It's already on. You're giving loans in 2 minutes. You are the whole UPI in seconds. So the
Yes.
whole payment, which is disrupted, and on the backbone of which this entire industry is
Yeah.
today standing, is which is your wallet and UPI. So it's
Yes.
already been disruptive. India is taking a lead over there, and yeah, we disburse loans in 2 minutes. It's like, I remember we were looking at a campaign for our MSME, and we said कि 2 मिनट में मैगी भी, well, they say, but 2 मिनट में मैगी शायद नहीं बनेगी, लोन तो मिल
Oh
जाएगा.
my
So,
God.
but that's where the world has changed today, right?
Yes,
So because
yes.
all your credit scores and all is all available.
Yeah, yeah.
The bureaus are there, everything is clickable, your KYC is online.
Yeah.
After that, that's where they disburse. So today, I mean, everything is in seconds and minutes now, of
Yes,
course.
absolutely. So, Darshan, when you joined Aditya Birla Health Insurance, you joined at a leadership position, you joined as a CMO, and it was a completely new industry, as you rightly mentioned. What did you do? What was your 30, 60, 90-day plan to learn the ropes? Because, your team must be looking for directions, and the company was, getting into that space. So, there was no legacy of health insurance within the company. So how did you navigate that period of your career?
See, so the good thing was, my CEO and my boss at that time, Mayank, he wanted somebody who didn't come from financial services or health insurance, and so the diversity was very important. Who didn't bring the baggage, and I think that worked for him and me both. For he and even Ajay, they both taking the bet, and for me too, I was really a blank slate, right? So it didn't matter. But what I did know was marketing. What I didn't know is health insurance, and which was easy because people make you learn. So when I came, I was the first employee, first marketing employee as a leader, and I remember initially, and I told you I was at a helm in retail, so I was spoiled, and I'm like, where's my secretary? Where's my cabin? I came from, and this was my first startup where we were like literally in this kind of a room,
Yeah.
all of us working together. So very different thing for me. But yeah, so people taught me. I think people were really generous, and I remember, I thought they were constantly using the word provider network, and I didn't know that provider network is all your hospital and all of that. And I'm like, who are they? I thought they're your IT support and admin support, and they're all called provider network over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I think I was as blank, but no, I gave it to the team, and I gave it to the CEO of the business also to really have patience with me, and they were ready to give me time to learn.
Yeah.
And obviously there was a lot of content available. People were there. I used to keep sitting with different departments and their heads, and they would take me through. And there were times when, and I took the liberty of saying that, listen, I don't know. I didn't come with any chip on my shoulder that, oh, I'm a leader. I'm joining as a marketing head. So how can I say I don't know? I was very comfortable saying I don't
Absolutely.
know.
Yeah,
So why don't you
yeah.
teach me? Because what I know it very well.
Yeah, yeah.
So my
yeah.
confidence, and I was okay to learn.
It shines through, Darshana. And when I went through your LinkedIn profile, so many rewards, recognition. What really keeps you motivated? Is it the rewards? Is it the recognition? Or is it something else?
See, like I said, I love creating. I'm a person who likes to bring into things together. I love digital and technology, so that's the new game for me. That how do you? I also believe that you try a lot of things. You fail fast, you learn fast, and you recreate. But you have to keep doing. So for me, rewards definitely is exciting. I have seen enough and more. I feel it gives a lot more confidence and motivation to my team,
Yes.
because I do want them to do work and see the rewards, and industry to recognize you, internally to be recognized, because marketing otherwise becomes a very a spend or a cost area, and I do want to change that narrative, that marketing and even customer experience, that this is all part of how you grow your business, how you are really interwoven into the business outcomes, and I very strongly believe in that. And of course you should win, because one mantra I strongly believe in is that you play to win.
Yes.
And I definitely play to win, so you must play hard, work hard, and win big.
Yes, perfect. Tell me one instance where you played hard and one big, basically your biggest achievement that you look back, my mom, dad are going to be proud of this.
Mom and dad proud is difficult, right?
For everyone.
Yeah, always, right? They are your best critiques, but no, I think I still will give a lot to the Birla Group and Mr. Birla for because we have these ABG awards, and just I was not even 3 years old, and I got this best functional individual at ABG awards, and that gave me the gumption to because they give you good money to learn to upskill yourself, and with that I did my Harvard business the executive leadership program over there at HBS. I think that's one of the moments I'm very proud of my parents also because that's something that I really stepped up myself. So I think a group like ours only where EBG really believes in investing in their people. We really have lots of awards internally. So that's my biggest achievement to me. And the second one was the fact that I was in health insurance and I still didn't know finance. Where I'm sitting over here, I'm still not such a, I'm not a finance person. But I remember when Vishaka called me for this role and I told her also, Vishaka, but this is like so much of finance together. It's different, it's, insurance, investment, lending, all of it. And I still don't know finance as well. I don't know. She was also okay. She's saying that's okay because, so I think that's my next big achievement to be sitting on the helm of things in spite of not being, a career finance.
Yeah.
Like most of the guys over here are career finance. They would have spent 20 years, 30 years, 25 years. I haven't.
Yeah.
For me, it is my 9 years only here. So, that I think I'm very, very proud of.
And women do bring in some color and charisma to the financial world. I genuinely believe in that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. So, Darshana, you are a full-time corporate leader. You are a full-time mom. My question is simple. Can women have it all?
I say so. We are conditioned that we always have to make a trade-off. So I have been, very clear. I remember when I was young and this word compromise, whether it's compromise in your marriage, compromise in what you do. I used to always fight with my mother that I'm not going to, don't use the word compromise with me. I will not. I am okay to make choices, but I'm not going to compromise. So she and I used to always have a fight that, you can't talk like that. You have to learn to compromise. I said, I will not. So this conditioning that women have to compromise and so they can't have it all, in my mind is not true.
Beautiful.
Women can have it all. They have to learn to demand and they also have to learn to use the ecosystem. We don't have to be shy.
Yeah.
We have to use our parents, family, sisters. I have used all of them. I've taken all their help and I'm completely grateful to them for every moments in my life, whether I was traveling, leaving a young child. My mother was there when I left a 4-month baby and came back to work because Lehman had happened and I was in retail, I was in Future Group that time. So at every juncture like that, whether my mother-in-law was there, my sisters step in, but yes, or my entire support system, I don't think I can do without my cook or maid or driver. Yes, we need a support system.
Yeah.
We need, including our spouses, our partners, all of them, we need that support. But after that, we have to believe that we can do it. We may not be always on our high. We will go through our, whether it is motherhood, whether it is menopause, there are many things that women go through. But we have to accept it, but not say that we cannot have it all. We can have it all.
Absolutely. And I think there is so much inclusivity and so many women leaders paving the way for the future women leaders that, definitely that belief is coming to young women that yes, we can have it all.
Absolutely.
And we need to believe in ourselves. Earlier, women used to doubt themselves. Am I doing this right? How am I being looked at in a boardroom meeting? But I think I see far more confident women today, and thanks to leaders like you.
No, absolutely, it's our conditioning, and I do want to, Gurneet, one of the things that I want to do is now give more and more back to women in career, women in mid-management, women who, including when I go to these MBA schools and I talk on leadership, and this is the thing, because today people are very confused.
Yeah.
The reason why you are also doing this podcast and you want to influence them, and I agree because they come with very rigid mindset. Most of them don't want to go into sales. They want to go into, comfort, marketing, consulting, those kind of things. No, but you'll have to do, because we need more and more women CEOs.
Yes,
And to become
absolutely.
a CEO, you need to dabble yourself in sales.
Absolutely. But things are easier said than done. I'm sure there would have been challenges. There would have been situations where you had to be for a professional commitment, and probably your heart was something which required attention at a personal level, or vice versa. Talk me through some of the challenges, some of the stories of your journey to this.
No, many. In fact, I remember when I was expecting, and I have this huge tummy, and I used to still go to work, and I was taking a presentation, and I remember my boss telling me that, but why are you here? So I was not giving up. Because what happens is, we are also wired with the feeling of insecurity that, I mean, I think that feeling that we only have to do all,
Yeah.
that micromanagement which comes, which is again wrong. And that's something which, if you ask me over the years, I've realized that I don't have to do it all. I have a team. I have to learn to take a step back. And after my son was, and he was, I think, very small, because I started work back when he was just 4 months old. So that guilt, of course, all the time, because what is eating. I left feeding him. He was onto a bottle. So that stage of his life, and when I was traveling, I remember I was going to London for my retail. We had a retail program over there, and I was going for 10 days, and I have cried throughout. When they came to drop me, my husband, and my son was a baby at that time, and then the entire 8 hour, whatever the flight to London to Heathrow, I was crying, because I was feeling the whole, that I'm leaving him and going, and I'm leaving. And whilst I was excited, but I was just crying that, I don't want to leave him and go.
Yeah.
I want him along with me. So, yes, I've done a lot of travel with not being excited, being in tears. I know that there were days and days when I used to come, and my son would wait at the lift, at the elevator, because he would call. When he started a little bit, he would make Dadi or somebody call me, and Mama, where are you? And I'm like, I would say, no, I'm on the way, I'm still far. I would still keep telling me. He would wait outside at the
Oh my
elevator,
God, yeah.
waiting for me.
Yeah.
And that my heart would break. There were days when you have a child who is unwell,
Yeah.
and you still have to go because you have a review or something, and then between you and your husband, your family, you are taking turns. I am not saying I've had best of bosses, I've had best of organizations. I didn't have to really, if I had a child who's unwell, I didn't have to give up to go. But yeah, there are days when you also have commitment to your team, you have reviews, you have business
Yes.
commitments. So even if you've taken the child to the pediatrician, and then but you have to leave and go.
Yes.
So of course you break your heart at all that moment. You just become more. I don't know, because that time we didn't have this work from home. We didn't have all of
Absolutely.
that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
COVID taught a lot of those things. So yes, I have gone through this phase. But one commitment I had made to myself after, after I became a mother, because every time my son will call, no matter what meeting I am, except for if I'm in a board meeting, but anything, whichever meeting, I will excuse and walk out and take his call.
Beautiful.
Whether I know it is the most stupid thing that he's saying, he's repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
And till date, my son is now 15-year-old, going to give his 10th boards. But if he calls, and my entire team, everybody knows, whatever it is, I'll excuse myself, I'll get up and take his call.
Yeah.
Because that is my commitment as a mother.
Yeah, my eyes are becoming moist hearing your stories, and this happens with my daughter too. I mean, she will frantically call me. For what? Can I watch cartoons? Because she can watch the cartoons only with permission. But for her, that's the most important thing at that point in time. And she's giving you that respect to take permission. I feel happy that, okay, she's at least asking me. I don't know what will happen when she grows up. But
No,
yeah.
of course. But then you have to answer, and you have to take the
Yes,
call, because you
absolutely.
have to give them that.
Absolutely. And there have been many a times, so smallest of things. Can I have sweets? Can I watch cartoon? Can I go to my friend's place with my nanny? It just, I feel happy. For that 1 minute you feel, why are you calling me so many times? But then you feel, oh, she asked for my permission.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally relate to what you are saying. And Darshana, I think one needs to lift the people around as well, right? And we talked about women having it all, women managing their personal life, professional life. But Darshana, if you have to give me one mantra, the women who are working in corporate world, be it doing, working as a teacher, be it, someone who is working as a secretary, be it, someone who is working in a government service, be it someone who is working in a very strenuous 9 to 5 corporate job, what is that one advice that you will give them? Because, fundamentally I think घर छोड़ना है, आप कोई भी काम करो, घर छोड़ के आना है, काम करना है, फिर ही वापस जाना है. So what is that one advice that you will give to the women who are earning and stepping out of their house to go and work?
No, also whether you're stepping out of your house or today a lot of homepreneurs, a lot of people are now doing a lot of. I think what we don't do is and again it comes from a lot of conditioning. I'm sure the today's generation is far more sorted in that you give up your dreams for your family. And my one clear advice is you dream and dream big and make it happen for yourself, because that's why that comes from the word that you don't have to compromise.
Yeah.
You may adjust, you may make your choices, you may have decided that I have the talent, but maybe I have 2 kids, I cannot go out and work. Then still dream and do it in house. Now, because those opportunities, those avenues are available, but don't kill your dreams. And that's my one big advice to anybody, that dream big and soar high and fly.
Absolutely. That's inspirational. We come to the last round, which is the rapid fire round.
Awesome.
Yes.
So,
yes. So, which is your favorite book?
Well, there are various books. So I used to be read a lot earlier with murder mysteries and all, but today I'm looking at a lot of self-development and from the past 9 months and looking within you instead of looking outside. So the current book that I'm reading is called The Power is Within You by Louise Hay. It's really interesting that why you don't blame your environment, you don't blame anybody, and you still have the power within you to make things happen. So that's my current go-to.
Super. Your favorite movie or a TV series or OTT series?
So see, I have been a lot, I think anything romance, I still enjoy.
Okay.
I will still go to, I can rewatch A Pretty Woman, I can, Notting Hill and Pride and Prejudice and all of that, or even Dil Wale Dulhania Le Jayenge and Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, including I must have seen Lamhe. I don't know, it still was a failure, but I have enjoyed Three Idiots. So I do like anything which is fun, romance. I enjoy action. I mean, I may watch that, but that's not my repeat and that's not my go-to.
Right.
I like some of these khatta meetha, those kind of things. So in that I can.
Yeah. They lift
keep
you
watching.
up.
They lift you. I think I like mushy romance.
Okay, so your husband must be taking notes.
No, he knows. And also the K series, I used to binge a lot on the K drama. Lately, I have kept myself off on television because it became a habit. I would drive down for so long, and then after some time I would not sleep till I have not watched one episode or whatever. I said enough is enough.
Yeah. Who's your favorite influencer?
See, so personally, that's one thing I've not really gone attached to. I know this is a common question people keep asking me. I would have seen, I have worked with many.
Yeah.
Am I following anybody's as much is not something that because I sometimes find, if I like somebody's content and very soon I'll see them doing something else.
Yeah.
Very few people have stepped, but I love Palki. I like Palki's, she has a voice,
Yes.
she has a strong, and she brings in really the, contextual content. So I love, listening to her. Nikhil Kamath for the whole, currently what he is doing, and he's also interesting. So I watch some of his episodes. I think I've heard Jack Canfield and all that also, which is on the motivational side. But beyond the point, none of these young ones, no. Because I don't think they stick to, I think they all go because they're all monetizing and they suddenly are, somewhere else. So generally I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, so I think the message from the marketer in Darshana is be consistent with your brand message and your positioning.
And authentic.
Be authentic, absolutely. My next question is, who is your favorite leader as per you?
No, I can't say I have anybody. I mean, it's not about favorites. See, at every juncture of my career, various people, and all of them have been somebody who got me, including my first boss where she was a lady, she was a founder who really, people have taken bets on me because, there were many times that I wouldn't believe in myself, and, they have given me the confidence or the nudge. Or I remember one of my boss had said, "Okay, you swim in water and you will learn to, you will learn to survive." And that's how I was put on a forum in front of 500 people to talk or take PR and, talk to all the journalists and all. And that's from my first job. So, because they felt that that's what you have to do. If you're a marketer, you have to do. You will have to learn to weave that, magic or the perception. You can't be. I actually am a very, I'm not so, I was quite an introvert. I may sound, but that's the learning, that's a career learning. I used to be very introvert, very coy, very shy, but that's what they would push me. So I would say my mother has been my great strength and somebody who's really made us strong, all three sisters. Like, have not heard society saying that you need ek ladka hona chahiye.
Wow.
And that's the thing which was really, and she got us to do that. What you believe, go and do it. You don't have to change for people. So I think that bit of hers is what really came the strength. And she is also, she would be my first leader, but at various stages, yeah. So at various people who have come in my life and have supported me, or even if they weren't good, I know that I've learned something. So in the hindsight, and including today with, I love what Vishakha is doing as a woman leader.
Yeah.
Coming in BFSI, and she really taking that bet on me. So yeah, at various places I had Ajay, Mayank, at HI, I had Sadashiv, Damodar, Preeti. There were many people in my life who, really made. I had a lot of my bosses who were from UK. I had Mark, who was from there, who really, when I was in my hypercity stint, he believed that I can do much more. So people have taken bets on me, and I really appreciate all of them.
So my next question is, wish that you have for Darshana Shah.
So my current need is to find my purpose, and I have come to a very happy space within me that yes, I have 27, 28 years of working. I am at the helm of things. I never thought I will be in BFSI, and here I am. I want to now look at the 2.0 or 3.0, whatever my version is, but the next best version of myself, which is the next, because we are all going to live long, and I believe I'm going to live long too. So what is that version looking like, and what is that Darshana? Because that's her excitement, her zing, and I love to travel. I don't want to be confined for sure. So I want to find my purpose. I'm almost there. I want to give back. I want to leave my legacy.
So
good. That's the journey I am in.
And last question, what is the wish that you have for our channel Turn the Page?
Oh, I would want you to have your 2 million followers and, monetize. But importantly, very importantly, don't forget the reason why you started is to make that impact.
Yeah.
Do make that impact on all these young minds who are, like you told me, they are lost, and you want to really, guide them and get them to get stronger or take bets or whatever, believe in themselves. Don't forget that impact that you've started for, because a lot of times, like the reason I'm saying why I don't follow a content creator or a influencer is because when they start monetizing, they're lost.
Yeah.
Because then they start becoming, very whatever the brands want them to do. And of course, I'm a marketer. I use a lot of them. But you have to be clear where you are not going to go, because that's not your space. So do remember that will be my only ask. But yes, please grow, shine, fly, make your presence count. Make your podcast count.
Thank you so much, Darshana. It was lovely chatting with you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure the audience watching, especially the girls, the women who are watching this, would be truly inspired by your story. Do watch out, and till the time we release the next episode, don't forget to turn the page.